Hey y'all, Scott Shuman here with Shuman Performance, and today I'm going to be going over why not maximizing your drift could be hurting your velo. Okay, to begin with, what exactly is a drift? Well, as you come set, whether it's out of the windup or your stretch delivery, as you go into peak leg lift, we want to see that center of mass, or pretty much the belly button, start to drift forward about 2 to 5 inches as we go into peak leg lift. There are a couple of reasons why we should increase our drift. One, mainly because we want to be able to have some kind of momentum or linear move as we go towards our target. That's going to set up a better position at landing and also really be able to help you get into your hinge a little more smoother as we ride the slide. Next, I'm going to be going over 3 simple cues that you can look out for in your own delivery that might show that maybe you're not maximizing your drift as well as you could. The first one is going to be the most easiest to identify. As you come set, once you lift your leg, if you feel like you can balance on once you get to peak leg lift, then obviously we need to increase our drift a little bit more, because if I do it right, as I lift my leg and I start to drift, I shouldn't be able to hold that stable position, as you can see here, because my center of mass is moving forward. The second cue to look out for in your delivery is going to be what I call shooting the front hip forward or dumping the pelvis as you go into leg lift. So as you lift your leg, instead of moving that center of mass forward, you actually think you're drifting by shooting that hip, and now my pelvis has this upward angle as I go down the mound into my delivery. Now, there's a couple of reasons why that is bad. One, because not only am I shooting my hips forward and now my weight's still back, which is going to cause me to get stuck over the rubber, but it's also going to put my hips in a very uncomfortable position. So this like kind of hip abduction to the max, which is going to delay my hips from opening up earlier. So which means I'm not going to be able to get in that good hip shoulder separation. Or the opposite end of that, once I shoot them forward, instead of sitting back, your hips just kind of fall and open up early. And then everything else is just going to follow that and be early. So number 2 would be, are you shooting the front hip forward or dumping the pelvis? Okay, the third cue to look out for is going to be associated really with 1 and 2, but more so looking at the hinge and what type of hinge you have. So as you lift your leg, okay, if I don't really have a lot of drift, by the time I go down in my hinge, okay, if that knee starts to shoot over the toe, it's really going to cause more of a pushy back leg instead of being able to rotate into landing. So as you can see here, when I go down, there's not a whole lot of space for my femur to really load up in that back hip or sit back in that back hip. So what it's going to do, it's going to shoot your knee forward. Now you can see, because I don't have a lot of ankle mobility, that heel comes out. And again, just like if I were to jump straight up, if I'm going straight down like this and then up, yeah, sure, that's fine. But remember, we're trying to drive this way. So if I'm going straight down, the only way to get out of this position is to push and then extend, triple extend into front foot strike, when in reality, what we want to do is create space away from that rubber, so that gives our hinge or hip a better chance to hinge and be able to hold that good torsion and then unwind into it and create that good hip shoulder separation before we unleash into the baseball. If you like what you heard here today, comment below or like, follow, and share, or go to SchumanPerformance.com and let's start your journey together.